Hey friends, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here. I have a quick class for yoga for the holidays. And so if you live in a cold climate like I do, we tend to go inside more and stay inside more, maybe become more sedentary as we cozy up and eat lots of yummy and nourishing foods. But at the same time, we might forget to move a little bit. And so today I just have some gentle movements for us to share together. When you're ready, go ahead and find a comfortable seat. We'll just start by coming to our breath, becoming aware of our practice, and bringing ourselves to center. Go ahead and you can sit on a couch as well if you'd like, and bring your hands to your knees. If it feels good, you can go ahead and close down your eyes or turn them towards the ground. Just begin to become aware of your breath. Notice how it feels as it enters the body and exits the body. Don't do anything to restrict it. Just allow it to be as it is. You might find yourself being called to deepen it and expand your belly in all directions. If that feels good, go ahead and do that. Our practice here today, as always, is to help ourselves be more mindful, be more aware of ourselves, more aware of our surroundings, so that we can be present. When you're ready, you can gently flutter your eyes open, just taking a few moments there to get centered. If you have a strap, you can go ahead and use this today. You don't have to, it's up to you. But we're going to start on our back. So go ahead and turn and come down towards your back here. We'll just find our way here. Go ahead and settle, maybe pick up your hips, bring them down again. And if you'd like to use a strap, you can, or you can just bring your hands to your knees. And we're going to bring our knees towards our chest. They can be a little bit wider if that feels good, or together, you choose. And we're just going to rock side to side. So as always, forgive my squeaky floor here. Just go ahead and rocking the knees side to side. You can go as far as you'd like, or just as shallow as you like. Really pressing the low back down into the mat, lengthening it. Especially if we're sitting a lot, our low backs can become pretty tense. When you're ready, come back towards center. We're going to take our strap or our hands around our left knee, and we're going to lengthen our right leg long down towards the bottom of the mat. If that doesn't feel good on your low back, you can keep your knee bent as well and your foot onto the ground. So go ahead and choose one here, pulling the left knee in towards center. Maybe taking some ankle rolls with that left ankle. Again, remembering to honor your breath. When it feels good, we're going to begin to bring our left knee over our body. So over to the right side. Allowing it to fall, if it comes towards the floor, that's great. If it doesn't and it hangs out here and that feels good, that's okay too. Allow it to be where it is. Option two, just allow your hands to stay here, or you can tee your left arm open, turning the chest and the chin up towards the sky. You choose here. Now, if this feels good and you want to stay here, go ahead, or you can put a pillow or a bolster under your left knee to bring the ground up to you and let your left knee rest. Or you can also do the same under your left hand, especially if your shoulders feel too tight for you to open up here. Taking a few breaths here, option to close down the eyes. Relaxing into the mat, releasing any muscles here, feeling where you're feeling any stretches. It's different for everyone. You might be feeling it in your hip, your low back, your shoulder, your neck. Release your last exhale here. And on an inhale, we're going to turn that left knee back towards center. We're going to bring both knees up towards the chest again with our strap or our hands and rocking side to side one more time here. Again, pressing the low back into the mat, allowing it to open. And this time we're going to switch sides. So we're going to bring our hands or our strap around our right knee, and we're going to allow our left leg to go long, or just bringing the sole of the foot to the mat. As we're pulling our right knee towards our body, just maybe taking some ankle rolls here. Taking advantage to get as many parts of the body as we can. The knee doesn't need to come super close to the body. Allow it to come as close as it's available in your body. On your next inhale, go ahead and begin to bring the right knee across the body here, allowing it to come off the left side of the mat, and the right arm will tee open, if that feels good. You get to choose, and when you get wherever you're resting here, set up if you need a block or blankets underneath your arm or your leg. Whenever you get there, again, coming back to your breath. As we're twisted, it might feel a little bit more restricted in the body to breathe deep into the low belly, but our practice is to try and allowing the lungs to expand in all directions. Take an inhale here, and on your exhale, bring that right arm across your body and press into the ground and lift yourself up to seated. Coming around, seated on our mats. We're just going to take a few neck stretches here. So again, remembering to honor the breath as we move, we'll turn our gaze over our right shoulders and then over our left, and just continue to move back and forth. We only want to go as far as we feel a stretch along the outer side of the neck. You might even feel it on the inside. Do your best to try and not to move quickly. That can be really difficult. We tend to move very fast most of the time. How can you slow down, become mindful of how your body is feeling, allowing it to go as deep as it can so that you can feel a stretch, but not past that, not going past what our bodies can do. We're going to go in the opposite direction this time, coming towards center. We'll bring our chin to our chest and then open it towards the sky. Remembering to breathe, so maybe you open on an inhale and close on an exhale. Open as your chin comes towards the sky. Breathe in. And exhale as your chin comes towards your chest. Again, moving with your breath here. Take one more here, opening and closing. Coming back towards center, we're going to kick our legs out to each side. It doesn't matter how wide they go. We just want them as wide as we begin to feel a stretch in our legs, maybe different parts of our legs. You might feel it in your hamstring, around your knees, even into your calves and your ankles and your hips. But we're going to be sitting up straight here. And we want our feet and our toes and our knees to be up towards the sky. So as best we can, keeping them like that. If they're turned in, bring your knees and your legs closer together. We're going to take our hands on our knees and our thighs here, and we're just going to take some torso circles. So we can lean in one direction, coming around, rounding our back as we come back. Doesn't matter what direction you start in. Choose one and go there. Remembering your breath here. You might notice as you begin to move your torso in circles that your knees will bend and extend. Your legs will allow that to be. If it feels good, you can switch directions here. Notice if you feel something different on each side. Oftentimes each side feels different in our bodies. When you're ready, come back towards center. Again, toes up towards the sky, straight spine, pulling up through the crown of the head towards the sky. We're going to walk our hands out, forward. Only walk them as far as they can go. And then when you get there, keeping our backs flat, you can begin to bow the head. So this is not a competition to see how far forward we can lean. The goal is to feel it in our bodies and to open our bodies. So maybe you're feeling it again in your legs and your hips and your low back, maybe even in your shoulders and your neck. Pay attention to what it feels like rather than what it looks like. Of course, we want to be safe with our alignment, but instead of pushing ourselves to deepen the pose when we're not ready, it's more important what the body feels like. Again, staying here for a few breaths, allowing the belly to expand and contract. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk your hands back up towards center. We're going to turn over onto our hands and knees. When you get there, walk your hands all the way up towards the top of your mat, coming into tabletop. Our knees are directly underneath our hips. Your toes can stay tucked or untucked, whatever feels good in your body. And we want to make sure that we keep a slight bend in our elbows and our hands are wide, pressing into the fingertips. That takes pressure off of the wrists. Keeping the left knee where it is, we're going to extend our right leg back as far as it'll go and just begin to press into the top of the toes. So we're leaning back, getting a nice stretch along that calf muscle. You can even take some circles with the back of your heel if that feels good. So just sitting your weight back, really pressing into your hands to give yourself some leverage and just getting some stretches into those calf muscles, maybe even into the hip, into the knee muscles. When you're ready, come back towards center. We're going to pick that leg up and we're going to take it off the left side of our mat. So we're taking it diagonally across the mat. When you get there, if this feels good, you can stay here, or if it's available to you, go ahead and turn your gaze, turn your eyes off the left side of the mat, trying to peek at those right toes. So what that does is it gets a nice stretch along the right side of the body, maybe even into the hip, into the low back. You can stay here and hold if you'd like, or you can again press into those toes and leaning your weight back. You decide. Taking a few inhales and exhales here. On your next inhale, we're going to bring our right leg back towards center, coming back to tabletop position. If you need a break on your wrists, go ahead. If you have any kind of arthritis or anything that causes your wrists to maybe have a little bit of pain, you can always come to blocks here. That's why I always have them close by. Depending on how your body feels that day, you might need them. Our bodies change every day, so honor that. This time we'll take it on the other side. So our left foot will extend, and again, pressing our weight back, really opening that calf muscle. So I have had a little small injury in my left foot for a while now, so I'm going to honor that, and I'm going to be very gentle on this side. So I'm not going to go as deep. There's no reason to. There's no competition here. So inhaling and exhaling here. And this time on our next inhale, we'll pick up our left foot and bring it off the right side of the mat. So bringing it cross-body. If it feels good, our eyes turn to look at those left toes. You can hold here, or you can begin to press your weight. Notice where you feel this in your body. Notice if it feels different than the other side. Coming to your breath here. On your next inhale, we'll come back towards center. We're going to take just a down dog just here to finish out our practice. We'll tuck our toes. We're going to lift into our hands and our feet, lifting our hips up towards the sky. Now it's more important to press into the hands and lengthen the spine back, hips up towards the sky. If your hamstrings feel really tight, bend gently in your knees here. Again, hands wide, pressing into all corners of the fingers. Taking pressure off the wrist. Maybe you want to take your dog for a walk. When you're ready, you can come back down towards your knees, bringing them down towards the mat. And we're just coming to Balasana, child's pose. Hips can come back towards heels. Head can come towards the ground. Doesn't need to touch. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, no worries. If it makes it more restorative for you, you can bring a pillow underneath your forehead or a block. Also, always an option to widen the knees as wide as the yoga mat. Give your belly a little bit more room. Show it some love. Take a few inhales here and exhales. And when you're ready, come back towards tabletop. We'll come back seated and just notice how you feel after this practice. Notice how it feels in your body. Notice if your body feels more open. It's so good to just get a little bit of movement in every day. Thank you so much for joining me. May you be well.